Living in rural China, the hardest thing to bring up is asking fellow villagers for the money they owe you. It's hard-earned money you've saved penny by penny. Yet when you stand at their door, you end up treading carefully and sparing their feelings. Today I summoned up the courage to go ask for the money back, and it left a bitterer taste in my mouth than I'd expected. Hi everyone, I'm Shyla. It rained heavily all night long yesterday, and the wind was blowing really hard too. After work this afternoon, I didn't go straight home. I detoured first to the cornfield behind my house. I'd been worrying about them all day, afraid the newly grown corn seedlings wouldn't hold up against the wind and rain. When I got to the edge of the field, sure enough, a whole patch had fallen over, all limp and tilted on the ground. I need to prop all these fallen seedlings back up right away. Follow the direction they fell, pile some dirt at the base and press it firm, and they'll stand steady again. My hands and slippers are all covered in mud, and Lucky's wandering around right next to me. I worked at it for quite a while, and only finished propping up a small patch. These seedlings are still young. They need 2 more months to grow, and we'll harvest the corn in September. It's been so hot these days. I only squatted in the field for a little while, and I'm already sweating all over. The cold water on my face washes away most of the stifling heat. It feels so refreshing. I wonder how the weather is where you live. Is it also this hot every day? After finishing farm work in the field, I'm making colorful, creative steamed buns I just learned online tonight. First, cut a piece of pumpkin. This pumpkin is naturally sweet. After steaming and mixing with flour, it creates a natural golden dough without artificial food coloring. Arrange all the pumpkin chunks in the steamer and steam them until fully soft. Once fully steamed, I'll mash them into smooth puree for softer dough. Next, I prepare red pitaya. Squeeze out fresh juice with a cloth filter bag. The online tutorial said mixing flour with this juice will make beautiful magenta rose-shaped buns. I wrap the pitaya flesh in gauze and squeeze hard to get natural fruit juice. This is my first time trying this method. I use only fruit for natural coloring, and I'm not sure how the final buns will turn out. First, pour 3 grams of yeast powder into the bowl to ferment the dough. Add flour little by little, stir into flaky dough, then knead it smooth later. Even as my hands are busy mixing dough, my mind's all tangled up. There's a worrying matter weighing on me for days. I can't focus on anything properly. Half a year ago, Shulin from the east end of our village took a detour to my house to pour out her troubles and asked to borrow 10,000 RMB from me. She said her elderly family member had suddenly fallen seriously ill and been hospitalized, with constant fees for hospital stays and medicine piling up. That day she stood in my yard, clutching my hand tightly with watery eyes, her voice trembling as she spoke, barely holding back tears. She kept promising me firmly that she'd only borrow the money for 2 short months. As soon as she sold the grain from her field and had spare cash, she'd pay every cent back to me without delay, no overdue payments at all. We've been neighbors for almost 10 years. Whenever anyone's harvesting crops or running into trouble, we always lend each other a hand, and we've always gotten along peacefully. Seeing how desperate and helpless she looked, I couldn't bear to turn her away without overthinking the consequences. I fetched my emergency savings that I'd slowly saved up by cutting back on all unnecessary spending and lent it to her. Back then, I naively thought we're all villagers living close by. If someone runs into hardship, I should help them out. Everyone goes through tight financial spots at some point. But when the agreed 2-month deadline arrived, she never brought up paying me back once, acting as if she'd never borrowed the money at all. The alley in the village is narrow. We cross paths every single day. Every time I spotted her, I'd purposely walk the other way, too embarrassed to bring up the debt. When I couldn't avoid her and we ran into each other, I gently brought up the owed money. She immediately made excuses, saying she had no spare cash at home and her crops weren't ready to sell yet, begging me to extend the deadline for her. After that, she kept pushing the repayment date back non-stop. First she said she'd pay after selling autumn corn. Nothing happened after harvest. Then she changed her story to waiting for wheat harvest earnings, dragging it on for months on end. Every time I lightly ask about the money, she uses her sick elder's endless medical bills and heavy household expenses as excuses, leaving me feeling conflicted and upset. Today is exactly the final repayment date she promised me face to face. Whether I was working in the field or kneading dough at home, I've been turning this matter over in my head all day long. I can't keep waiting for her indefinitely. My savings didn't fall from the sky. I need money for farm work and daily groceries around the house. After I finish eating tonight, I'm going to walk over to her house to talk to her plainly about the owed money face to face. I push the troublesome money matter aside for now, focus on making buns, stacking the rolled round wrappers one by one. Once all wrappers are stacked and rolled tightly, cut from the middle to make 2 separate rose buns. These wrappers are kneaded with pure pitaya juice, bright magenta in color. They'll look gorgeous after steaming. Now I move on to the pumpkin-flavored ones. Use a kitchen knife to lightly press 8 evenly spaced lines on the cake, forming petal outlines. Then press a small dent in the middle of each petal with a chopstick tip to make the shape more three-dimensional. It's easy to make a little flower-shaped pumpkin cake. The golden color looks really lovely. Once all the buns are shaped, let them rise for a while, then they're ready to steam. I've been busy working on this for ages. Finally, all shaping is done. Once they finish rising and steam fully, we'll have tonight's staple food ready. While the steamed buns rise, I prepare dinner for Lucky at home. Mix dog food with sausage. Add warm water to soften it for easier digestion. I sincerely thank everyone who sent me donations through my homepage link. I keep all your kindness in my heart. Every bit of support from you will be fully spent on Lucky's daily needs, including dog food, snacks, vaccines, and parasite prevention. The rose steamed buns are fresh out of the steamer, plump and lovely overall. Now look at this tray of pumpkin flower buns. Their golden color stayed perfectly, fluffy and soft after steaming. But I'm a little surprised. The bright magenta pitaya dough turned orange-red after steaming. Now I'm going to stir-fry long beans with eggs to go with them for dinner. I rinse the fresh long beans thoroughly under running water to wash off all dirt. After washing and draining, I cut them into small segments. They'll soak up seasoning better when stir-fried. Stir-fry the beans first until half cooked. Then pour in beaten egg liquid and stir quickly. The buns and stir-fry are all ready. Pour a can of soda to enjoy my dinner. It's a little pity the pitaya roses turned orange instead of magenta after steaming, yet they're soft and full of fruity flavor. Eating alone is so casual and free. I can make whatever I feel like. No need to cater to others' tastes. I don't have to worry about portion sizes either. It doesn't matter if I make more or less. I just go with what feels right. I sit on the sofa and take out my phone to contact my husband. Tell him I will go to the neighbor's house to discuss the owed money later. I talked to him before lending the money. He sympathized and agreed to lend our savings to help our neighbor. My husband tells me to communicate politely without quarrels, but I have to get a definite repayment date from her. No more endless delays. I'll listen to his thoughts, then head over right after hanging up the video call. The night is quiet, but this worry weighs heavy on me. I just hope I can get the money back smoothly tonight.
饺子在家里。
吃饭了没有？
吃完了。
都不做不吗？做吧。
在这帮下整的话嘛，你尝尝。
这真厚着。
给往下撇。
开一看都可小了，这真滑的。
哦，还在这里尝。
你说嫩了，啥都会走的。
在这里尝尝。
那这个媳妇到我这来有啥事？
家这用去的，看你不是那个要整那去个几个坏的，我觉得还有去哪去不了。
哎呀，没有，给你发了没有啊？这段时间手上可紧张了，花钱厉害，再提2月给你还。
当时那个再去还有用，那些不要借，要是借给你看，咱那要你又没去。
哎呀，这借给钱都成天要成，我是没办法了才没有给你还。我要有办法了，我一下子第一时间都给你还。我说不趟你这些事，在去北京了花钱厉害，我写他那个困难先解决了，再提2月的月份内第一个时间先还。呀，你自己。
当时忘了不借给你，也没得劲，咱们这可紧张。
看你说话恁那天借给钱吧，都成天要，还当时不借给我，借给我了，我还烦你怕了，还烦你是个坏人了，不是大心眼都觉得你是好人，哎呀，说你这看话恁那天，有了第一时间还你。
咱主要是当有趣。
我知道当你义气，哎呀，你搬个方向盘一天都挣几百块，现在是小事，都帮忙替我解决，就要这一斤，成天来要，
那用的是不用。
然后下个月费条都还给你。
那到时候是这月费买了也高。
月费买的第一个时间先还，放心吧，是再提2月绝对先还。哎呀，没难受了，都提2月绝对还的啊。
那就那。
我都不帮到急吧，我怎么还过来就一直是来要。
We finally talked it through today. We agreed that I'll wait another 2 months and he'll pay me back once he harvests and sells his corn. I felt heavy on my way back. I can't really blame anyone. We're all neighbors here, and everyone goes through hard times. But when I think about all the expenses waiting for me at home, how I lent the money without hesitation back then, and how I've had to ask for it back multiple times only to keep waiting, it weighs on my chest. I'd be lying if I said I'm not disappointed. We're bound to run into each other around the village from now on, and when we do, I probably won't be able to say a word about it again. They're the ones who owe me money, yet I feel like I'm the one in the wrong, too awkward to bring it up, too polite to push the matter. I guess the softer-hearted you are, the more you end up making things hard for yourself. If you were in my shoes, would you also find it this hard to speak up?